Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to the A through Z playthrough. In today's video, we have landed on Tyrael. Tyrael has always been classified as a tank, but he's never really had the crowd control that I look for when I'm picking up the main tank for my team. He's always felt a little bit more like a bruiser to me, although he does have some really interesting talents, like the blocking field, the holy ground. Super fun, super engaging, one of the best parts of his entire kit, but it's only a very small part of his entire kit. I've also always struggled with mana consumption on this character. No matter the build I was doing, I kind of wish they just gave him energy instead, or maybe just took it away, because I feel like I run into combat, do all of my stuff, and then immediately have to back and go back to base just to recharge. Again, that could just be me. I'm just letting you know what I think about him. Tyrael did receive a pretty big rework a few years ago on January 16th, 2018, and that gave him basically the build that you see now. However, even up until last year, they were still buffing his kit. We just missed the anniversary of it, but on March 2nd, 2021, literally every single talent tier got touched with some form of buff, either a damage increase or cooldown reduction on sanctification. Tyrael was on an upward trajectory. However, his win rates are evening out a little bit below 50%. Actually, it's very close. 49.95% right now, with a popularity of only 5.98 and a ban rate of 0.27. Seems as though I'm not the only one who doesn't gravitate towards Tyrael as being my main tank. Now, I'm not trying to come into this negative or anything. I think he's a super fun character. I'm also always going to be nostalgic about Judgment. It really makes me miss some of my old friends. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do, please remember to hit the thumbs up button. And our next character that we're taking a look at is Tyrael. That's going to be hard. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot I do the Mecha Tyrael pleb horse combination. Oh, the contrast is what it's all about. It matches because it doesn't match. We are on Braxis Holdout today. The friendly team, Tyrael, Azmodan, Greymane, Imperius, and Kharazim. The enemy team, Artanis, Probius, Tyrande, Jim Lanor, and Diablo. Now, as tanks go, Tyrael's probably one of the weird ones. He doesn't have really hard CC that most tanks do, unless you go for specific ultimate choices and some specific talent choices that can limit movement. He does, however, have a lot of sustain, and he can share some of that sustain with his allies. His W ability is called Righteousness. It's on a 9-second cooldown, costs 45 mana, so kind of costly, but allows him to shield himself and nearby allies pretty much every 10 seconds. It's a lot of extra healing, especially if you're using it when you're grouped up. This is kind of the perfect map for that, because we're all going to be grouped up all the time. Tyrande coming out swinging is going to land that stun on Kharazim and take him down. Diablo flipping me over. That's okay, because we have our Q ability. This is Eldraruan's Might. We can throw the sword, and then within 5 seconds of throwing the sword, we can then decide to activate the ability again and teleport back to it. This is crazy mobility. Crazy escapes on Tyrael is a very common practice. And you can actually lower the cooldown on this later in the game if you decide that you really like it. The enemy team is pushing up pretty heavily. We're going to hit them with Smite. Smite gives us a movement speed increase if we move through the area on the ground, but Smite's also going to be a key component of what we're trying to do today in our build, because we're likely going to go for some auto attack focused talents. The friendly team did rotate up pretty heavily to the top lane. They are securing that part of the objective for us. Diablo moving right in onto our Azmodan. We're just going to whack him a little bit as he is still in tower range. Shield coming up. We can reinforce our health. Kharazim jumping in as well. That is a damage Kharazim. Now that they've moved back, I'm going to stand on the point. Hopefully Imperius is able to push them off up top. They didn't get too much of a channel before we neutralized this. And Diablo will be able to move back in pretty soon. Tyrande can do a lot of healing in a lane like this if she has a lot of targets to hit all the time. The shield was a little too far out to really help our gray main, but the enemy team is getting sieged quite hard by our Azmodan. As long as we can hold on to this, we're going to be just fine. Level 4 is coming up pretty soon, and it is going to be a smite talent that we pick up today. Shield out. Perfect. We're going to go with Divine Vigor. Smite causes basic attacks to heal. So in a situation like this, I can just run up to enemy bruisers, just like Diablo here, just like Artanis. And as long as we can, oh, so much CC. As long as we continue auto-attacking, we are going to be able to generate quite a lot of healing for our character as well. With our level 1 talent, picking up Regen Globes is important, and I'll try to focus on that a little bit more. But dealing damage to heroes heals Tyrael for 23 health over 5 seconds. And the amount of this heal goes up as we increase Regen Globe, as we gather Regen Globes, and it increases whenever we beat up enemies, right? Dealing damage resets this time. Yeah. So we just keep stacking it up. The enemy team's still pretty far forward, still feeling pretty comfortable here. We could teleport just behind the wall. I was hoping he would take a few more tower shots, but they do manage to secure this objective. Now, luckily for us, we're pretty good at killing objectives, especially if our Azmodan can stack up his dunk as this game progresses. We can thin this out quite well. Until then, we are going to have to try to hold off this onslaught. Tyrande's doing a great job of engaging with the Diablo engage, lining up that stun soon after he slams. That is one of the deadliest combos in all of Heroes, if you can get it right. The enemy team's Artanis was taking some tower shots there briefly, but then the towers decided he was a threat no longer. Speaking of towers, this one isn't going to hold up very much longer. If we don't clear out this Zerg wave, we might just barely have it, but no, I think we are going to lose these defenses. Oh, just a couple auto attacks was all it took. Let's move up and shield our allies. We'll also send in the sword so we can teleport into it. Don't want to get swapped into any buildings, but those guys were all tapped on health and mana, so we at least won that push for the time being. I don't want to get flipped into their base, but if anyone is going to get flipped, it might as well be me, and what do you know? We were ready for it. The sword already in position to take us back out to safety. If we could just try to focus these towers down, that'll open up our lane quite a bit. I imagine the Diablo flip is ready once again, this time being used on our gray main, who is stuck in there. We are going to see our Karazim chasing after him, trying to keep him alive, but my mana is now becoming a problem. Fox can dash over. Oh, but is that where he wanted to dash? I can't even smite to give our team a movement speed increase. These guys are pushing in real hard. Real hard. That's a scary comp to go up against. Damn. We're going to get Purge Evil at level 7. Each enemy hero hit by a smite increases our basic attack damage by 60%. Now, remember, that says each enemy hero. So if I can get into a clump and hit 3 people, that's a 180% increase to our auto attacks. That's so crazy strong. Especially depending on the composition. Like if you're going against a Samuro or something, holy crap, there's going to be clones everywhere for you to just devour. Let's help our team grab this. I'm going to cycle back down to bottom and make sure that we're soaking XP properly. Diablo does see us rotating down. That's totally fine. We'll just posture with the shield up. Not a big deal at all. Let me grab this Regen Globe and maybe the Regen Globe underneath us here as well. If it hasn't been taken, it has not. The enemy team did grab a mercenary camp of their own. It is starting to push forward. Azmodan should be able to clear it though. I'm not too worried about that at all. If Artanis wants to move up, I actually think I win this trade right now. We're pretty strong at the moment. Tyrande and friends rotating down. Let's jump on top of her if we can. Nicely done by the friendly team. And Artanis decides to invite himself over for a little bit of an ass whooping with Eldruin. Let's move back, though. Let's move back. We don't want to just take free tower hits. That Regen Globe is going to help us out on our quest. We're at 14 right now, and this just keeps stacking indefinitely. The objective is up. We're going to make sure we are quick on the channel here. And then because Tyrael's dead, I'm actually thinking about rotating up here to help out top lane. Jim Laner is going against our Karazim. I'm just going to stand on the point. I don't think they're paying any attention to me. We'll at least get a little bit of a channel here. If Jimmy wants to move up, we'll put the smite down, and Greymane with a great engage along with Karazim managed to delete him before he even knows what is happening. However, the enemy team has caught wind of this. They know we're up here, and they're pushing in really aggressively on that bottom objective now. They do have level 10, but so do we. Judgment is available. Let's try to continue to chase after these guys if we can. Look at myself healing. Look at it. Let's just smite him and keep healing. Look at it. It's so good. Seven-sided strike is coming down. We see Artanis trying to move away. A great apocalypse from Diablo is going to hinder our team a little bit. We have another shield ready to use here, but it looks like we're being slowly pushed off this objective. That is until Artanis got taken down. We could use judgment here. I don't think we need it. No, we don't. And now we judge back. I can't judge back. I'm so out of mana. This is my experience on Tyrael. This is what I remember Tyrael being like. It's like, oh yeah, I want to go do this thing. Wait a minute. I can't. I ran out of the blue stuff. Now, this might be a me problem. I might be spamming my abilities a little too much. They all have exactly the same mana cost. But Tyrael, since level 1, has only gained 100 mana. I've gone from 500 to 600 in 10 levels. Let's move in and try to defend top lane. The enemy team did get another massive objective up here. I'll try to do a better job of actually fighting on the objective rather than objective adjacent. And maybe we can help defend these a little bit more. Let's just get Diablo off his mount, maybe slow him down a little bit, hit him with smite as soon as that's up so we can deal some extra damage. We're going to judge onto this to keep him still, and then try to body block Tyrande as she goes to move away. Smite being used once again. We are dealing a lot of damage, but that blind from Artanis is going to stop us for a little bit. Smite back down. We're hitting hard. Is it enough? Yes, it is. Of course it is. And that's the fun thing about Tyrael. Once you actually get some talents under your belt, he becomes a real auto attack threat. But up until that point, your weapon just kind of hits like a wet noodle. So if the enemy team isn't expecting that kind of spike, it can really catch them off guard. Now, the ultimate we went for at level 10 is the Judgment. This is my favorite out of the two. The other one makes an area safe all around Tyrael. My problem is I don't use it fast enough, and then my allies move out of it. Now, I'm not saying that our viewers would move out of it. I'm just saying that fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, never gonna fool me again. I'll just pick Judgment. We do manage to finish off this mercenary camp to push down towards the enemy team. We have very few seconds until we're able to judge, but I don't even think we're going to need to do that. No, the dunk securing the kill on Jim Laner, the lone enemy combatant in the bottom lane. Tyrande owling us from that top location. Now Artanis moving down. I kind of wanted to just go in on Probius there. I almost did it. Now, one of my favorite talents in the game, Holy Ground, is so fun for Tyrael. Now, when we teleport to our sword, it's going to leave a blocking field down as well. We can use this blocking field for things exactly like this, setting up some really aggressive dives into the enemy team's base. And then once we die, we turn into this divine spirit that deals big damage. That was clearly too hard of a push. I really believed in the Probius kill, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. We do have 20 Regen Globes picked up so far. That's a 20% bonus to our level 1 heal. That's looking quite nice. Mercenary camp for the enemy team is moving into the top lane pretty aggressively. The enemy is definitely winning on siege at this point, so we're going to have to win a fight pretty hard and then push back with a lot of resistance if we want to regain some ground. Speaking of regaining ground, the enemy team has taken a boss while we were doing this and then immediately moves onto our objective. But you can see here with that Holy Ground, I at least momentarily stopped their push forward. We're going to be able to smite again, and I can hit Diablo here for quite a lot of damage. The enemy team does take that mercenary camp. Potentially, I could have blocked it with our Sacred Ground, but I didn't quite do it. We can stop everyone from moving in here, though. I need to back up, boys. We are losing this fight. We are losing this fight, boys. Boss is moving in. mercenary camps are moving in. We can judge Diablo here as he's tanking the thing and then block him in so he can't leave. So he is going to be taken down at least. We see Jim Laner running for dear life, but I think we have to stop to kill this boss. Hopefully we can do it before it takes down our building. Now, while all of this is going, the objective is also being channeled by the enemy team. So we're going to have to really move if we want to contest this. It looks like Falstad is, or excuse me, Karazim is in position, and we do at least slow down the onslaught. Juicy minion wave in the bottom lane for Asmodan to get if he wants it. I'm going to stay here and try to defend this. I cannot do this on my own, though. However, repositioning isn't that hard to do. We could just fall back a little bit if we need to. One thing I could do now is move the sword forward and totally block off this area from his escape. I was hoping that was going to be a little more effective. These towers are beating the shit out of me today. Here's him starting to group up. The swap does land, but we just go back to wherever we were trying to go. Smite's going to give me a movement speed increase to hopefully outrun that Jim Laner. We can get some regen globes and maybe think about re-engaging with our judgment, but it just seems like everyone's so high health and no one's dying. Let's lock Diablo down. Maybe they can continue pushing in. Split the team in half. Is that good enough? No, I don't think it is. I think I baited our own team into dying, but both teams are level 16 now. Did we never grab bottom? Wasn't bottom open? Okay, well, moving back down to the bottom lane. We got a big-ass Zerv wave to stop here. We're going to get the Burning Halo, try to stop Diablo from chasing after our Asmodan, and we can give him a movement speed increase to get away as well. 5 seconds on my sippy cup. We're definitely going to need that. I'm not going to be able to do too much defending here, but I can leave my sword down to just deal some AoE damage around us while all of this is going on. Actually, this defense looking pretty solid. If Diablo's going to run this way, we might be able to cut him off around the pass. If he wants to trade with me, we can definitely do that. He's locked in place now, and the damage from Asmodan is going to secure that kill. 10 seconds on judgment for me to be able to re-engage, but we see our team moving in, so let's continue to follow them. Eldruin cast. We got it. Is it enough? Yes, it is. The re-engage, super strong, taking down Jimmy. Now we need to do something with this advantage that we have. We have to take something. We got to push a building. We got to make something happen. We do have a movement speed increase for our Imperius if he needs it. We're dealing some pretty decent damage here, but I'm worried about the tower killing us off. Oh, God. Okay. Sorry, I'm broken at the moment. Hold on, I'll figure this out. I'll figure out what I want to do here. So do they expect to jump over? So what if I just jump this way? I go where I please, thank you. I'm running out of mana though. I can't do this too much longer. Good damage onto the enemy team's Probius. I don't think I can catch him. I really don't. We can hit the enemy Artanis here pretty hard if we weren't blinded. Those attacks missing. I'm just going to try to stand here and protect our Asmodan for the moment, but we do pick up 2 kills on the enemy team quite nicely. I cannot split them in half because I have no fucking mana at all. 0. Never have any at any point, and this is why I don't play Tyrael. Give him a fucking mana talent, please. Jesus. I just want to do... His abilities are so cool. Let me cast them. Fuck! All right, that's been building up for years. Oh, that's been building up for a long time. Okay, I feel bad. Whew, okay. Now, this is a great situation for our team. We have a little bit of time to burst down a boss, but luckily for us, Damage Karazim and Greymane can deal a lot of damage very, very quickly. Let's move in for our team and try to tank this. If we see the enemy team moving in, all we have to do is throw our sword right on the capture point, and we can actually displace enemies off of the capture point immediately. we can steal camps from right under their nose, and there's really not too much that they can do about it. Now, hopefully we go for a really fast channel here to get this objective moving in the right direction. We need a good objective if we want to secure the win in this game. We are looking at level 20 very rapidly, and this channel's going pretty well so far. Diablo actually opting to rotate up into Karazim here instead of going for the free bottom objective. And it looks like Artanis might be thinking the same thing. Let's just try to slow him down a little bit. As long as he's not on the capture point, we're doing just fine. Here's the ult in just to keep him locked down, and we're going to try to hit this guy as hard as we can. He does send out the blind to stop my auto attacks, but I did lock in Seal of Eldruin. Basic abilities grant attack speed. We're going to be swinging even more than we were before. This objective does go to the friendly team. I was going to rotate up top instead, going back down to the bottom because we need to push in with this as hard as we can. We need to make sure no one dies up here. Very important that no one dies because we have a huge Zerg wave and it can get a lot done. Look at this attack speed. Holy shit. Diablo moving up to the wall. Is he thinking about pulling one of us in? It looks like he is. I should have had my sword ready. That was on me. Good damage on Tyrande, though. I don't have my ult just yet, though. We need this building to fall before we can really move in, but this is looking like a super strong push. I'm just going to keep getting the building's attention periodically. Let's see if we can just split the team and see how they react to that. If we can get Diablo to dive forward even a little bit here, this could be good. Now all hell is going to break loose. Where's Tyrande? She's getting ulted. We got to shut this down. Get out of here, Tyrande. We can totally eliminate their healing for a time if I can get in position. Oh, but we do get taken down. Tyrande looking pretty low. Can we kill her? It was close. She had less than 100 health left, that's for sure. We are losing. So I hope you guys get a little something in here, because our core's dying real fast. The core's about to go. It's got some catapults on it. How's it looking over here? All right. Well, we gave her our best shot. Tyrael has always been a character that I love his abilities. I just hate how much they limit you can use them. And I hope this was at least a little bit of an eye-opener into some of his drawbacks, as well as some of his huge benefits. He's one of the best engagers in the game, but he has to be so prepared for it. It's almost like you have to go back to the base, then move back out, do all of your abilities at once, go back to the base and rest again. He just needs a lot of pit stops. And I think with just a little bit of mana return, he could be one of the most engaging characters to play on the front line. Well, the talents we went for in today's video were Ardent Restoration, Divine Vigor, Purge Evil, Judgment, Holy Ground, Burning Halo, and Seal of Eldruin. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Next up, we're taking a look at Tyrande.